pod bay doors, please, Hal.
The pod bay doors are open. Thank you very much for joining us once again for this special episode. I'm your host, Doug Heller, film critic and film historian for TalkMovieToMe.com, here as always, with my always good-natured friend who would never walk up and smack me in the middle of a live telecast, Jerry Dean Roberts, film critic for ArmchairOscars.com, ArmchairCinema.com, and OverThinkingOscars.wordpress.com. What's going on, Jer? Well, we know what's going on.
Oh, how was your weekend? Jesus.
Will
God.
Smith just smacked the shit out of me on live TV.
Oh my God, what in the world?
So, the funny thing is...
Yeah, you start.
Well... First of all, Drive My Car won something, and I was very happy about that.
Spencer did not, and I was not happy about that.
Yes, and The Eyes of Tammy Faye won 2, which is 2 more than I figured it was going to get.
It won what it deserved.
Yeah, I mean, Jessica Chastain was quite good, but...
And the makeup was very effective.
Mm-hmm. And, Dune... I'm glad Dune took, 6 categories?
Very happy for Coda. Those little films, you rarely ever get this.
That is the first Best Picture winner to ever have premiered at Sundance.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And in the volley of 136 films that Netflix was trying to shove through the door like the Three Stooges, Apple TV Plus ends up being the first streaming service ever to have a film win Best Picture.
Right. And even Amazon was the first streaming service to win an Oscar when Kenneth Lonergan won for the thing that Casey Affleck won for.
Oh, Manchester by the Sea, which I did not like.
I wasn't a fan. They were the first streaming service to win Oscars. So far, Netflix is the only one to win a Best Director Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
But,
yeah.
I mean, you know.
Thrilled for Jane Campion.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Happy that she was rewarded. Surprised, not surprised that that's the only thing that The Power of the Dog wound up.
That did surprise me.
With.
That did surprise me. I was very shocked because Coda was the biggest winner because it won everything it was nominated for.
Right, and it's the first Best Picture winner since Grand Hotel in 1932 to win Best Picture without having
a director,
Best Director and Best Editing
nominations.
It's the first one to win that didn't have a Best Director nomination since Argo in 2012.
Mm-hmm. I think before that you got to go back to Driving Miss Daisy.
Yeah.
I think, West Side Story got what it deserved.
Anna DeBose, absolutely.
Yep. The Best Supporting Actor, Troy Kotsur. I was very moved.
Yes.
By his speech. His impression of Popeye is amazing.
Yes, it is. If they ever wanted to redo it,
yeah,
there's your man.
But all of it, and I don't know if you got this, but even before the incident that happened, this was a very nervous show.
It was.
Starting off with Beyonce singing the song from King Richard behind a 12-foot wall in Compton.
Mm-hmm.
That was strange.
Yes, it was. Now, I'm not upset with the fact that the only queen I would bend the knee to started the Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I get that.
She was also nominated, which, still kind of wish maybe she would have won. But I know why.
No Time to Die. I'm sorry. No Time to Die was well, I won't say it was a better song, but I'm not a fan of Beale. I'm not a fan of the song from King Richard. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah. I was more I usually when it comes to best song, I don't really care about the song. I want to see which writers should probably have
Yeah,
an Oscar for a song.
yeah.
That's usually where I make my determination.
I would like Diane Warren to win an Oscar at some point in her life.
Oh my god, yeah.
She's the
Uh
Susan Lucci now.
mhm. Yeah.
But
So it was a very nervous and when I did like the banter of the hosts.
I like those. Yeah, they were great. They were really
They
great.
they were wonderful. I really liked Wanda Sykes' tour of the museum
Mhm.
when the guy took her over to the
Oh, look,
to the
Harvey Weinstein.
to the blanks. Yeah, to when they went over to the blank space, the blank hole where Hattie McDaniel's Oscar would be if they could find it.
Mhm.
He said, "We keep this empty space here to say that we haven't forgotten her, that she still has a space here." And then Wanda Sykes goes, "Well, it also represents all the best director winners." Yes, it
Yes, it
does.
does.
And then
I
her whole thing about how they're not charging Spike Lee for storage and how she has to get into it because she
mhm.
pays 125 a month in Glendale.
Yeah.
I was I love Wanda Sykes. I have for many, many, many years.
I love the fact that whiter than white Amy Schumer is up there with them, and it's
That was the funniest she has ever been.
the whole show was the funniest she's ever been.
I thought it was great when, Wanda Sykes was saying she was there representing, black women and LGBTQ
Hmm.
people of color, and Regina Hall said, proud to be representing black women. And Amy Schumer says, I guess I'm representing the cranky white lady that calls the cops if you guys get too loud. It was all whoever wrote for her
Hmm.
needs to always write for her.
I want to hope that she wrote some of that stuff.
I like some of her stand up, but some of it is extreme.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a little out
but
of it. It feels a little out of my age group.
it is. It's definitely out of your age group.
Um,
It's
yeah,
barely within mine.
she's cute.
um,
She's
yeah,
cute as a button.
and I well, hey, I wouldn't have minded being on the receiving end of a pat down from Regina Hall either.
Yeah,
But
yeah. There's that.
on,
You notice
but
we're not talking about
but
Will
I
Smith.
digress.
You
Well,
notice we're
here's the
not talking
thing.
about Will Smith. We'll get to that in a minute. I just
Yeah,
because I feel like if we started this show, if we started this
because then
episode,
that would be
that
everything.
would be everything we
Because
talk about.
so you know, after the Oscars, after Coda won, my only comment online that I hashtagged with Oscars and Academy Awards was, "So, Coda, huh?
Coda, huh?
Lots of people lost a lot of money tonight."
Yeah, they did. Let me tell you something.
And you and I both predicted pretty accurately at least 5 or 6 of those the top categories.
I got cute with the short film categories,
Mm.
and in getting cute, I ended up with five. Only ended up getting five wrong.
Ah,
Out of 23 categories, I ended up getting five wrong.
that's not bad.
That's not bad. That's a personal best for me.
That's probably, yeah.
But
I
it
would
says a
hope
lot for
so.
this year of the nominees, or
Yeah.
just my obsessive research.
See, I've found that the more you follow award season,
Mm.
the less exciting the Oscars are.
Yeah, yeah. And this
Because I think,
I did probably more research this time because I saw
because
every single nominee.
You actually did more due diligence than probably 95% of the Academy.
I think my wife said that. No, somebody said that to me. It was like, you probably did put more work into this than I think the Academy did. No,
Yeah,
somebody at work said that. I was telling them, I was like, yeah, you probably did more work than they did.
yeah. I'm
And
I'm I'm sure of it.
okay, the issue that I want to talk about is really a non-issue now because the quote unquote lesser awards were not disgraced because
Well,
they
no.
did get an announcement. They did announce the nominees. They showed the nominees, and they presented it and allowed those people to be able to speak. I have
Yes.
less of an opinion about this, an anger about this than most people do.
The only thing I can say against how they presented it
Hmm.
is that the speeches were edited.
Hmm. Yeah.
And actually, I believe some of the speeches of the quote unquote major awards
Hmm.
were trimmed.
Yeah.
And they still went over. They were a half an hour
Hmm.
longer than they were last year.
And not only that, it was. I forgot what I was going to say.
It's like you cut these things for time, and then you add on other things that take
Oh yeah,
longer.
you add these montages and you add these tributes to these films that are 28 years old,
Yeah.
and you add this other
Can
junk.
I can I just for
Why
one
did they do
half
Bruno?
second? Why did they do Bruno? It wasn't nominated. And did you even remember that White Men Can't Jump was a movie that was made? Because I barely recalled it.
I remembered it. I didn't think it needed a.
They're like, oh, in the celebration of the 30th anniversary of White Men Can't Jump. I was like, oh yeah, that
No,
was a movie.
no. I was more perplexed by the 28th anniversary of Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, it's like, oh, let's not wait for the 30th anniversary of one of the greatest movies ever made.
Right.
Let's jump the gun and do 28.
That's the junk that needed to be
Yeah,
pruned.
yeah.
Um, but let me tell you a story. A long time ago, there was an episode of Phil Donahue
Hmm.
where he had people that dressed like babies, infantilists, I think they're called.
Yes.
Um, and the way Phil Donahue did his show is he's standing in the middle of his audience with his microphone, and he introduces his guests, and they all come out, and they're adults. They're in their 40s and 50s, and they're dressed in diapers, jumpers, little bonnets, and little pacifiers.
Hmm.
And they sit down, and there is a dead silence. And Phil Donahue says, "Well, what am I supposed to say?" That is how I felt
Well,
after this bullshit that happened. That is how I felt.
both you and my wife thought my wife was working, but she was working overnight in an office, so they were able to have them on
Yeah.
while they were still doing their work.
Hmm.
And I told her what happened, and she saw the replay, and both you and she were like, "Oh, I thought it was a bit," but I saw Jada's eye roll.
Hmm.
I felt Jada's eye roll.
Hmm.
And Smith was laughing
Nervously.
until no, he was actually laughing. He thought the whole thing was funny. If you look at his reaction to, and then
Which I did.
he saw Jada didn't like it, got mad because this was not the first time Chris Rock had gone after Jada.
Mm.
Pinkett Smith,
Or him.
uh, or him. Um, I think the beef kind of started back when she was complaining that Will Smith wasn't nominated for that terrible concussion movie.
Of where he played a South African.
Right, but it was also a year that no actors of color were nominated in any of the four acting categories.
But even if 90% of those nominees had been people of color, Concussion still would have been a shitty movie.
See, then she could have just looked petty instead of starting a whole national movement that actually led to some good things happening.
Right, right.
So I can't really complain that much about that one, but
Well, let me
and
let me tell you
these
what. Okay.
this couple's been under attack for a very long time by a lot of different elements in Hollywood for
Mhm.
one reason or another. And Will Smith and Chris Rock don't get along anyway.
Yeah.
There is a long standing dislike. There
Mhm.
is bad blood there. But I'll just say that I know why he did it,
I do too. I know exactly why he did it.
but that doesn't mean he should have done it.
What he should have done was during the commercial, go backstage, locate Chris Rock, pull him aside, and talk to him and say, I didn't
Yes.
appreciate that. That's how men settle this.
Or even sitting in his seat at the time going, not cool,
Yeah.
not cool. Like
Something.
just do something from that. But instead, you thought your television sound dropped out.
Well, let me tell you what was happening. Because during the Oscars, I am tweeting, I'm posting on Facebook, and I am getting information. I'm taking notes for my article for the Post for Overthinking Oscar. It's overthinkingoscar.wordpress.com. Um, and
Shameless plug.
nameless plug. I was getting all of that ready and not really listening to Chris Rock because, to be honest with you, Chris Rock and the Oscars don't fit. He doesn't ad lib very well, and I was just kind of. I think at the moment I was getting ready to write something about the documentary feature award, which is the award he was about to give
Mm-hmm.
out,
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't paying attention. I saw Will Smith go up, and it looked like he did a fake punch. So I thought it was a bit. And then the sound went out. And I thought it was because I have a shitty cable provider. And I thought it was just a technical problem.
Yeah, but then
Then I started asking you, and I said, "What happened?" Because my sound went out, and you said, "No, it wasn't your sound." Because I
yeah.
saw Will Smith yelling at him, and I thought they were just kind of joking back and forth. I thought they were just having fun with each other.
Yeah, you could read Will Smith's lips very, very clearly.
Well, my attention was on the technical issue because I'm like, okay, I can't hear this. What's going on?
Right.
And I couldn't. So I wasn't really paying attention to reading his lips. I was just kind of there with it. And honestly, right up until just before he got his Oscar, I didn't know what had happened. It dropped on a Japanese. There was a video from Japan
Mm-hmm.
that dropped on YouTube. My wife showed it to me. And then I kind of went back and I was watching everything that was building from there. And boy, the show just turned.
Mm-hmm.
And I got really angry. Now, we should say we're recording this on the Tuesday after the Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's had time. Yesterday, it was kind of marinating with me because I was just sitting there and I was kind of angry about it because my first reaction was, yes, he should have defended his wife. But you're
But
57
not like
years
that.
old. You're 57 years old. You should know better.
Mm-hmm.
I was dismayed by Jaden's reaction.
Oh, yeah, I saw that
I
this
was
morning too.
dismayed by his mother's reaction, not Jada, but Will's mother.
Hmm.
Sometimes you just got to slap people. No, you
Yeah.
don't.
See,
That is
I,
wrong.
I found something online yesterday that lent a little clarity. Um, as we know, although Smith and Pinkett Smith have denied this, they are closely tied to Scientology
Yeah.
and have been for many, many years.
Mm.
There was an article written by somebody saying the reason that he did that in the Scientology community, walking up and slapping somebody you have a problem with,
Mm.
is an assertion of dominance and encouraged.
Yeah.
And so, because whether he is a Scientologist or whether he dabbles, this presented itself in his mind as the first and only solution to the problem in the moment.
But there's also this. Will Smith, there's nobody probably working in film right now that has a more welcomed presence
Mm-hmm.
than he does.
Mm-hmm.
Not anymore, but generally, and a lot of kids really like
Mm-hmm.
him.
Mm-hmm.
And to be encouraged and watch this man that first of all, we've been watching and been following since he started in music in the 80s
Yeah.
through television and into movie stardom
Mm-hmm.
and has been courted by Hollywood ever since,
Mm-hmm.
is a very funny, very charming guy. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of kids like him and will watch him. And you know that this is an encouragement that a kid can say, well, somebody says I said something I didn't like, I can walk up and pop them in the face. Yes. Well, what happens if you get shot, stabbed and shot doing that?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, and
that's an
it's
encouragement that is dangerous.
it is, and it's a huge problem that was like the first thing that went into his head on a live telecast,
In front of a
and
billion
a
people.
live international telecast. Yeah, exactly. It's like, if that's the first thing that pops into your head, and you know where you are,
Hmm.
and you are the odds-on favorite to win the thing that you have been working your entire career for.
This is your night.
This was his night, and if that's the first thing that pops into your head, I gotta go smack this guy. Now, evidently, the reason it was taken so harshly is because Jada Pinkett Smith has publicly stated that she suffers with alopecia.
Now, my question is, did Chris Rock know that?
See, that's what I don't know, because
That's what I don't know.
all he all it looked like is he saw her head was shaved. He probably assumed it was for a role and thought it would be okay to make a G.I. Jane 2 joke because she shaved her head for roles in the past.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, I think what didn't she shave her head for Gotham when she was on that season?
She may have. She may have.
Um,
But she's
so
been open about this for 2 years, and I will tell you the truth. I didn't know that.
I didn't either. Uh, my wife told me that. My wife texted me that, and I didn't know that. But I saw that how she reacted immediately to the joke. Um, like I said, I could feel her eyes roll,
Yeah.
and I could feel her anger.
Hmm.
But Smith was having fun
Yeah.
and laughing, like, ha 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 ha, and then he looked over, and he must have gotten that silent stare and the
Hmm.
nope, and he might have then thought about it for a second, and yeah,
Because let me tell you
My
something. Let me tell you something. Nobody can give you a look that speaks volumes like your wife. Okay?
yeah, no, nope, nope,
Nobody can give you a
nope,
look that speaks
nope,
volumes like your wife.
not even your parents.
No.
No, no. And so, like, if he knew,
It was
okay,
wrong either way. But it was a stupid
yeah,
joke.
it was, and that's how it should have been received.
Because he wasn't talking about her genitalia. He wasn't making
Right. Or
sexual remarks.
nor did he say, "Did you lose a little too late and have to just ditch the whole hairstyle?"
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't make a comment about her alopecia. He made a comment about her hairstyle decision. She decided to go with no wig,
Hmm.
you know, which she
Well,
didn't have to do.
and she's doing it because she's being open about it. And if she'd have worn a
Right.
wig, it probably would have seemed like she was trying to hide it in some way. But the thing is, and I don't know if you got this, but there are a lot of question marks that are kind of flying off of this. One of them is when Will Smith went up to receive his Oscar. Number one, he got a standing ovation.
Yeah.
The other is
20 minutes after publicly assaulting a person.
there seemed to be something else going on with him.
Yeah.
He looked, and I hope this was the case, humiliated,
Yeah.
and he should.
Hmm.
He looked humiliated. He looked embarrassed, because this academy, the people in that room, as with the public, have courted his success. They have they've given him everything,
Hmm.
really. When most actors of color have gotten nothing.
Hmm.
He
He's
has
one of the, if not the highest paid actor in Hollywood.
yeah, yeah, and to be in a room with the people who have done that for you is basically to take a giant shit on the honor that should be the greatest moment of your life.
Hmm.
And what confuses me is he's so Will Smith. He's so Will Smith when he's sitting in his seat, and then he does this shouting bit, and then he's tearful while he's getting his Oscar, and then at the Vanity Fair party, he's back there and he's
Oh,
smiling,
yeah.
taking
Yep.
pictures, and he's getting jiggy with it and all that.
Hmm.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What is going on with you?
Yeah. It was, there's a lot that was going on. Neither side should have happened. Um, he acted inappropriately. And now I've heard that they've launched a formal investigation and they might take his Oscar away.
That's
To which I tweeted, and I'm making a public retraction of one of them now, and I said, you know, unless they take away the Oscars of Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey,
yes,
Casey Affleck,
yeah.
Woody Allen, and I said Joaquin Phoenix because Joaquin Phoenix had been implicated at the time along with Casey Affleck, but evidently was cleared in court as having not been part of the sexual assaults.
If you do it to Will, you got to go back and you got to do it to a lot of people.
Exactly. Or you're a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Because you're saying rape's okay, you just can't slap somebody on national TV and make us look bad.
Right. Well, the other thing is the apology that came down yesterday. He really, really should have done it on video.
Yes. It was very You know what it was? It was It was publicist originated. He
I
did not
was
write that.
I was telling, well, some of it did sound a little bit like him, but I was telling my wife last night. I was like, it sounds very much like a very hasty apology that maybe came from Jada, Denzel, and his management team.
Right. It felt more when you read it, it feels more like a, oh, I have to apologize today.
Hmm. And then Jada
Instead
comes
of,
out with her statement today.
right, I didn't see what her statement was.
Well, it's time to start healing, and I'm thinking, well,
Oh, that's right. I did see that. Yeah.
I was
Now is a
thinking,
season for healing. It's like it's not Christmas, Jada.
okay, let me go here. Let me go here.
It's spring, not Christmas.
People are thinking, well, this is just an incident. We can move past it. No, you have to. It's important to understand this. The Academy, or better or worse, has tried in the last couple of years with varying degrees of results to be inclusive, to change their image, to answer to the call of what has gone before. In the last 2 years, we have been through more bullshit. Culturally, politically, globally, we're in the shit pit. And nothing makes sense anymore. The world is a confusing mess. And it is important to note, by the way, that while we're talking about this, people are dying in the Ukraine.
Mhm.
This incident doesn't help. It adds to it. It adds. It's just one more thing. One more disappointment. One more.
Mhm.
What the hell is going on?
Mhm.
From a man who has everything in the world
Yeah.
and all the success in the world that a lot of people of color do not have, and opportunities that people of color do not have, and some of them should have.
Many.
Many, 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 many. Now we've made. Now I've probably made more jokes about Will Smith over the years. You know,
Mhm.
um,
Just refer back to our episode on Collateral Beauty.
yeah, or my comments about concussion.
Yeah. Or our episode on Men in Black 2.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Oh, and Winter's Tale.
mhm. But refer also back to my comments about King Richard.
Yes.
Um,
It was a performance that I I can't be angry at his winning it for the performance.
because the performance is a lot better than the movie.
Yes, it is. I still probably would not have given the Oscar to him, but I think it was probably his most Oscar worthy role.
But I am like those people. Have you seen the still of the reactions from everybody that was there?
Yeah.
That was me.
Hmm.
That's me. I've been doing this for 3 decades. I've never seen anything like that.
No.
It was uncalled for. It was stupid, and it was done in front of a billion people by a
Hmm.
person who should know better.
Yes. On a night that,
A night that was already, on a weird tangent anyway.
yeah. And it was a colossal error in judgment.
Yes.
Um, to put it as nicely as possible.
My question is, what happens to Will Smith from here?
Well, I don't know what happens to Will Smith, but I do have to say one thing about Chris Rock.
Mm.
How professional was he that he got smacked,
And went on with the award.
came back, appeased Will Smith. I'm not. It's not. It's not. Her name's not in my mouth. It's not. It's over. Wow, that was the greatest moment in television history. Okay, let's hand out this documentary award because that's what we're here for, right? And he just went on like a true professional comedian.
I would not have done that. I don't think I could have done that. But it is a tribute to him that he did that. He was asked to do a job and he did it.
The way that he handled that, and the way that he didn't make it worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In a way that he definitely could have.
No, as of now, we've not heard from him.
No, and I don't know that we need to, or necessarily even will.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, somebody will ask him.
Well, yeah, and I know the simple fact that he moved on, did his job, and has said nothing yet shows that he just wants to move on. Due to a technical issue there at the end, not everything got said the way that we had said it, but we were pretty much done. So you can find all of our back episodes at the podbaydorspodcast.wordpress.com. You can listen to us on iTunes and YouTube. Hit the like, subscribe, and notifications buttons there. You can find us on Twitter at pod_bay. Copy and paste that over onto Patreon, and that is our handle there. We thank you so very much for listening, and the Pod Bay doors are now closed.
The mission has been completed.